Popular history remembers Richard Milhous Nixon as a crooked statesman, the one responsible for the biggest scandal in American politics. It has become impossible to disassociate his name and image from the botched cover-up, the statement of "I'm not a crook," and the political turmoil that followed Watergate. The impending impeachment trial forced him to resign and left a permanent stain upon his reputation. For the most part, Americans have a deep mistrust for the man that seems to epitomize government corruption and dishonesty. However, this view comes at the expense of the recognition that he deserves for his remarkable achievements as president and as chief diplomat. In addressing foreign and public policy objectives, Richard Nixon displayed an incredible amount of pragmatism, seeking the most utilitarian route through compromise in order to accomplish legislative and policy goals. Throughout his presidency, he displayed efficiency and a drive to achieve his objectives, even if that meant negotiating across party lines and angering conservatives from his own party. This pragmatic approach is epitomized by his negotiations with China that resulted in the reprisal of Sino-US relations. On July 15, 1971, Nixon announced that his national security advisor, Henry Kissinger, had been in Peking negotiating with Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai, and that he himself would visit China sometime within the next year.
The meeting between the leaders of China and the United States is to seek the normalization of relations between the two countries and also to exchange views on questions of concern to the two sides. I have taken this action because of my profound conviction that all nations will gain from a reduction of tensions and a better relationship between the United States and the People's Republic of China. It is in this spirit that I will undertake what I deeply hope will become a journey for peace.
Overturning the historical precedent of his predecessors, Nixon reopened relations with the communist-controlled People's Republic of China during what he called the week that changed the world. After a small formal reception by the Chinese honor guard, he arranged a single meeting with the chairman Mao Zedong and several others with Zhou Enlai, during which he toured the Great Wall, Hangzhou, and Shanghai. The visit culminated in the issuing of the Shanghai Communique, which aimed for the full normalization of US-China relations and established that no power should, quote, seek hegemony in the Asia-Pacific region, end quote. In doing all of this, Nixon managed to further his policy of détente, his primary foreign policy goal. Opening the PRC to negotiations and trade was one of the three crucial points of his détente doctrine, the other two being diffusing tensions with the USSR and putting an end to the Vietnam War. The true pragmatic genius of Nixon's carefully strategized journey to China is that it worked directly towards each of these three goals. In creating a careful alliance with China, the United States gained leverage over the USSR. The Soviet Union was cornered geopolitically, and its leader, Leonid Brezhnev, was forced to enter into negotiations with the US. These eventually led to the strategic arms limitation talks, which alleviated military tensions between the two superpowers. They also indirectly contributed to the Paris Peace Accords on ending the war and restoring peace in Vietnam, achieving all of Nixon's foreign policy objectives. On the home front, Nixon demonstrates a similar willingness to abandon dogmatic ideology in order to benefit the American people as a whole. He initiated two controversial domestic proposals, revenue sharing and the Family Assistance Plan, which enraged conservatives within his own party, but however were highly effective. Reaching across the aisle, he corroborated with Senator Ted Kennedy to create a bipartisan healthcare reform bill that would promote equal access to healthcare. Nixon's comprehensive health insurance plan may have passed through Congress, if not for the uncovering of the Watergate scandal that interfered with his plans. Nixon's ultimate strength as president was his ability to pragmatically distance himself from his prior image as a Cold Warrior, from his militant anti-communist rhetoric, and from his strict party affiliation in order to benefit the country as a whole.